Welcome back to Delta Hands. Your neighborhood fruit and vegetable market can be a stimulating environment if you look closely and intently. Carol Creel works in watercolor, and life leaps off of her paintings.
Well, it's a creative outlet. It gives me an expression that I can put down on paper so other people can enjoy too, which is really exciting for me. I think I see things that a lot of people don't. When I'm looking at something, I'm not just looking at that object. I'm looking at the reflections. I'm looking at what it's telling me. Most things reflect. Most things have a reflective surface, and they're going to reflect back to you. Whether or not you pick it up is another thing. When somebody looks out the window and looks at the tree, okay, they see a tree, yeah, it's green. I don't just see a tree. I see lots of lights and darks and shadows. I see little places birds can fly through. I see those things. And hopefully in my work, I would like to think that I can bring something like that out so that other people can see the same things that I do. I would like to think it would be a fresh way to look at it, a different way. And by painting it, and I like to work big. It's kind of hard for me to work small, but I like to work big, and I like to put something down that people are going to stop by and look at. Like when they go by, they're going to say, oh, wow, you know, I see that every day, but they didn't look at it maybe in the same way that I'm trying to show them. And so they actually take the time to stop and smell the roses. And that's really what I would like to do with my work. Like, for instance, I'm doing a series of pears. Okay, well, everybody has seen pears. Pears that I'm doing, I did them very large. And because I think they're kind of sexy and sensual, and I want when someone to look at that, I want them to say, wow, look at that pear, you know. Because you see that all the time, but to stop and look at it, you know. And I did a series of cherries. The same thing. Well, cherry is very small, 1/2 inch in diameter maybe. Well, I did the cherries 3 inches in diameter and put a lot of reflections. So when you look at that, you say, wow, you know, look at those cherries. But see something deeper than that, than just the surface. You know, so you really need to look into what you're doing and see things. So when I go around, if I go into a gallery, if I go somewhere with my camera, I'm dangerous with the camera. That was one of the things that was suggested too, that, you know, if you want to be an artist and you can't work in plein air, just to get a camera and take the best shots that you possibly can. And they said, well, if you go out and you get one shot on a roll of 24, that'll really be good, you know. Well, I did that at first, and now I get a lot more than one shot. You know, I can get a whole series if I'm really concentrating. So, and I think concentration is a big part of it, you know, actually concentrating on what you're doing. I'll take a roll of film of 36 before I know, you know, what I've done, basically, because I'm photographing whatever my subject matter is from every angle I possibly can. You know, I'll get on top of it, I'll get under it from the side. I'll take it in the light if it's movable. I just try to get everything I possibly can from that subject, because when you start working, and I might be working on one little area, and I do work on small areas at a time, and when I get involved, I'll be working, and if I need to do something, I have to set an alarm, because 2 hours will go by like that, and you don't even know that the time is flying by. So you become totally focused. You almost become one with your paper and your paints, because here you are, you know, you're totally concentrating on this little area and you're trying to get it exactly right. And since I use photographs, I'll be concentrating and I'll be looking at one area. I'll use a magnifying glass or whatever I need to really see the detail. I also use my computer. If there's a little area that I can't see, I'll go in, scan my photograph in, and I'll enlarge it maybe 200, 300, 400 times, maybe 600 times, whatever I need, on just that square inch, and print it out to maybe a full sheet of paper so that I can actually see that detail. Because it's here, the camera's captured it, but maybe you can't see it because it's too small. So if I really want to see it and I want to put that detail in you know, I'll use the computer to show it to me, show me where it is. Then once I see it, I can put it in my work. So I get definitely carried away. And if I say I'm going to work about 15, 20 minutes, well, don't even think looking for me for 2 hours because it just, time flies by. Yeah. And I'm looking for depth and color, the most pigment in the paint, and water, of course, is my medium. So in order to get a wash, I just use some more medium, and if I want deeper tones of paint, I use less and more pigment. And the pigment is what makes the difference. I'm sure that water makes a difference, but here in Baton Rouge we have great water, so we don't have to worry about the chemicals and what's in the water. I lived in New Orleans for 21 years, I guess, and then we were transferred a bit in our first years of marriage, but we've been in Baton Rouge for 26 years. So this is basically home. I've lived here longer than anywhere else. When I was young, we would go to the French Quarter and walk around Jackson Square and see the sidewalk artists, which was very inspiring to me. I thought that was absolutely wonderful. How fantastic to sit on the sidewalk and paint. Oh my God, that was great. But I've always enjoyed the city, and the culture is there. It's just unbelievable.
Next up on Delta Hands, the preservation, education, and inspiration provided by public murals.